Hey all, it's Daniel Kastner, and I'm coming back with a second video on the Elektron Model samples. I'm not expecting to keep this pace up for 2019, so don't get that expectation in your head. But I've loaded it up with some TR-505 samples of my own. To my knowledge, I'm one of the first people to have loaded the synth groove box with some of my own samples and can start playing with them. So let's go check it out. But before we do, I do want to thank Ethan V for the coffee yesterday. Appreciate that. I'll link that in the description. Helps me get some coffee to make these videos. Also distributes cat treats to my cats here. So appreciate that, and I'm just excited to kind of share what I know, especially as we're getting into this Elektron world with this kind of more basic groove box. I think it can do a lot. I don't want to like undersell it by saying it's basic. I'm already loving this thing. I just got my own sounds into it today, and I think you're really going to enjoy this. So let's go peep it. A little context before I show you what's going on in Ableton. I took my TR-505 drum machine that my loving wife gifted me a couple years ago. TR-505. I wish I had more frame to show you this, but again, it's the kind of classic drum machine. Dev Hines of Blood Orange uses it, and it's fantastic. A lot of people hate it because it's got these like lo-fi samples, but isn't that like what we all want these days? Zoom H2, just honestly recorded that from my amp into this, took that SD card out, copied those files over into Ableton. Those are in Ableton now. I cut them up a little bit. Could be smarter, could have worked a little harder on this, but honestly just did that whole process where I hit Command E on all these, made all my splits, Command R renamed them, and then playing them from start to finish is kind of boring, but here it is. It's just a complete blast. I've never had as much fun as this. I've done this all in about 30 seconds, so hopefully this is just lo-fi and as quick and easy as possible for you guys. So for each of these tracks, I would click on them and then do the Command-Shift-R, export and normalize. Just make sure they're sounding good. And then I kicked them all into a folder in my Finder so that the WAV files came in. You have the ASD Ableton files, just to kind of bring them back. I think that's a temp file. But I took these waves. These are the 6 waves that are really important. And what I ended up doing is taking the synth, and it's got a USB cable, and just plugged that into the back of the Elektron Model samples, plugged the other end of it into my computer, and then I opened up that program, and the program is called Transfer. So if I hop into Transfer, you might have just seen it skip a menu, but what you can actually do is you do need to refresh and make sure that your model samples is actually appearing here. So that way you can actually send stuff to it. I think what I did is I went to Explore, and I just went in my desktop and found that folder, and actually I think I just created a folder on this side, and then I dragged all of those 505 samples in. I'll maybe quickly focus the right way. You can probably see those samples in there now. So loaded them over, and they're all on the Elektron samples. So you can kind of hear them in the background right now. Maybe. I don't have my Elektron plugged in. So let's do this. So you can hear them on there now, but let's go take a look at what this can kind of all do. Really exciting stuff. Honestly, it was just dragging from the blue to the orange, and then I'll show you kind of what it looks like in the program. So let's go to the floor. All right, so we're over at the model samples. If I go all the way back in this menu, all the way, this is kind of like your main screen, this like half and half thing. If you hit sample, you can also hit back, and then you can kind of see the pool. Pool is the top. You have your factory settings, and then I have that new folder that I just added, so that TR-505 is all in there, and then you have your RAM. Those are your kind of main folders out of this now. To apply the TR-505 over all of these pads, you just hold it, and it'll say load whole directory, and it'll load them all. Since these samples, I didn't trim them very well, since I've done this in like 30 seconds, here's what you gotta kind of do is you can kind of tweak the sample start. And you might need to tweak some certain things. So you can kind of mess with that. I know that's like not the most exciting thing right now, but it's kind of nice seeing on every track like what you have. I know, again, you can kind of just mess with the so you can kind of you know, go through all these tracks and kind of mess with certain things, and that's pretty sweet. So obviously I haven't done the best job on this, but you know, it's at least better than nothing, and at least kind of shows you that you can apply it to all of these you know, within a couple of seconds, and that's pretty darn nifty in my opinion. So I'm gonna go to like pattern 1 over here that I've kind of built. I think I've called it like No Danny. Not sure what that is, but I like this sound. Kind of simple and straightforward. Sounds pretty sweet. So let me go and actually hit track 1 and hit sample. I can see that that's a bass drum. So if I go and actually go into that TR-505 folder, I can go grab the bass drum that I grabbed from this, and it'll change it. You can change the volume of it this way. You can kind of change where your sample starts. And that length. You can kind of change your distortion on it and stuff. So it's kind of sweet that you can add in your new samples and kind of tweak them into your own workflow. I think I could have done a little more time, just making sure it all, you know, sounded okay, but just wanted to get this over to the model samples and show that you can absolutely add these to your sound, and it's pretty straightforward, more or less, and I think it just takes a little bit of tweaking. So hope this is exciting. If you like this kind of stuff, please like, subscribe, tell a friend that this is cool. All those fun things. Just want to kind of keep showing how I'm using this synth, how I'm incorporating it, how I would use it. And again, now you can probably be among some of the first that get samples onto their model samples, which is kind of weird to say, but hope this is fun and enjoyable. Thank you so much. Until next time. So I left, and you know, I figured I was just gonna need to, like, you know, spend maybe 5 minutes and maybe come up with a groove. So here's that TR-505 bass with like more of a groove. I'm just digging this. Like, after spending 5 minutes, like, you can literally just tweak this in any way. And I'm honestly just like kind of blown away by how much this thing can do and kind of twist and turn something into something completely different. So I think that bass sounds pretty nice for something that was just recorded super quickly with like a zoom. I don't know, man. I'm feeling pretty happy about this. So hope this is as exciting. Wanted to kind of surprise you guys and really show you what something like this can do once you load in your own samples. So hope this is fun again. Until next time.